Theranos, this land of bullshit, you know, but meaning is important. I don't like to get caught up in that sort of stuff, but I don't deny it. Meaning is very effective in terms of communication, and it's all about how we size the world up. And that's why, if you grew up in a different culture, it has nothing to do with this color of your skin, by the way, or your sexual preferences. It's the culture in which you grew up in. And there, your psychology is shaped. The family that you grew up in is part of that. This is this hidden dimension that shades our movement, shades who we are at every step. Now, we go into a psychologist, they're shining a light on our psychology. You go into a movement person, they're shining a light on your physicality. We're trying to, in this work, get those two together. And are you expressing what your true psychology is? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but you can certainly do it better. You know, everybody's out there doing these shaman ceremonies. I've had it up to here with the shaman ceremonies, but it's okay. Go ahead and do it. I've experimented with this sort of thing all my life. Always remember that these experiences are a window and not a door. And so what a lot of these sort of experiences do is take that thinking mind out of the way so that you can experience the phenomenal world in its purity and its suchness. And then you get beyond right or wrong, only thinking makes it so. Right? But that's not necessarily where we want to be all the time. But if I can take these experiences and understand the phenomenal world and be like, wow, a tree. Oh my God, I never understood how fantastic a tree is. No, it has to be a tree in virtual reality, and then it's a big deal. Please. So there are many strategies for embodiment. Some are based on doing more, working harder, and effort, and others are based on letting go. So if we look at Alexander technique, Feldenkrais, these sorts of things, the continuum movement, they're all about what's extra. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, okay. Where am I holding stress? Let that go. Oh, okay, great. Oh, I'm fine. Wow, great. Oh, stress is gone. I feel fantastic. Too much of that, and you won't be able to pick up your groceries. Okay? Then there's the workout mentality. CrossFit, you know, bodybuilding, let's go, come on, don't be lazy. And then the next thing you know, my back is killing me because I'm over-efforting. So what's important to focus on? It's a combination between the two. And then it's about your intention. Are you somebody that likes to hike a lot and you want to have that robust nature where you can put a backpack that's 70 pounds on and go for a 10-mile hike and handle that? Well, you better go and get some physicality. That's fine. If that's not your thing, that's fine too. But what is your intention? Are you playing golf? Do I need to help you with that asymmetry that's happening in something like golf or tennis? And how can we balance things out? You know, we live in a capitalist society, so capitalism shapes our psychology. The problem with money is there's really not a quality to money. I either got it or I don't. People typically don't ask where you got your money. I do, but most people don't. You're either rich or you're not. A lot of people got money in shady ways. Doesn't matter. You got it or you don't. Movement's not that way. Movement is a great equalizer. You can have a lot of money in the bank and be a poor mover. Good luck, because if you don't have your health, all the money in the world can't save you. I'd rather be a good mover with less money in the bank. But a good mover who's got poverty consciousness, that's not so healthy either. So, you know, somewhere in the middle of those two, you could be wealthy and have good movement. You can be poor and have good movement. Hopefully, there's a little bit of balance in your life. Everything in moderation, including moderation. So go on a bender, have some beers, overeat, feel bad about yourself. That's okay. You're not a saint. None of us are. Go off the wagon every once in a while, get some rest, gain some weight, and then go and lose it again. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Stop beating yourself up. It's ease. It's there right now. You're just causing stress because you didn't work out. This is the first time in history that we're disbanding our cultures and our tribe, our tribal understanding of who we are, in place of a world culture. This is a big growing pain, and it's not going to get over with quick. And how can we have diversity with unity? You know, diversity loves unity if you get in your own crowd and they have their own ideals. This is what cults do, and this is what nations do, and that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of meaning contained in that. Can we have our unity and diversity model? That's a difficult one. And I would say that we're closer to that than people would lead us to believe. Because with the attention economy as it is right now, you have to be outrageous to get attention. I can't speak to you kind of matter-of-factly, nicely, and you pay attention to me. I have to say, your movement is killing you. You will die in an early grave, or something shocking like that to get your attention. So now we have politics on either end trying to shock us. You know, either we care about you, we love all people, or, you know, everybody get their shit together. We're in trouble, we've got to work hard. Either way, you guys are extremists. My wife has the best tagline. She says, makes politics boring again. Because I'm sick of the political theater, but we're doing that all over the place with the drama. So we have waves that are coming in. And sometimes the waves go together and sometimes they cancel each other out. Competition is when we're all going against each other, and you know, the idea is that capitalism, that brings the cream to the top. Now hopefully we can get into a world where the cream goes to the top because everybody wants to do the best they can. Right now, capitalism, competition seems to keep everybody honest, and if you look at the systems out there, people aren't so stellar. And I mean human history, not just recently. Go through the history of all humanity. You'll see bloodshed. You'll see tyrants all over the place. They always rear their heads. Certainly after the Romantics got the French Revolution going, that turned into the shit show that it was. And who did you get after that? Napoleon. So people have to evolve to a point where we cannot have to have competition and capitalism rule, but we have cooperation, not competition. That's the key. Now, we're competing with our own bodies oftentimes. We're not cooperating with gravity, we're fighting gravity. We're not cooperating with it. We're fighting space. We're not letting space support us. So the support we get from gravity and space is key for our health. Just to talk about boundaries for a second. So in this model of organism and environment, this is very important because there's a safety factor that we have to have. You hear a lot about safe spaces now, which is a little bit ridiculous, but we all want to be and feel safe. But that happens from a phenomenal standpoint, your relationship to gravity in the physical world. You know, the acronym for fear, nothing I came up with, been around forever, false evidence appearing real. So 99% of your stress is in your head. Now some of that's actually real, like rent due at the end of the month and I can't make it, or bills and kids going to college and having enough money to retire. These are all real fears, although they're not in the physical world. They're not clear and present, immediate danger. That kind of fear and that kind of stress lasts for about 30 seconds or so, if that. These other stresses and fears last lifetimes and decades, and like water on a rock, they wear you down, and it is the silent killer. So when we talk about boundaries, we need them. You'll see people that have a boundary of stress around them. And then you'll see some people that put a boundary of bodybuilding and muscle around them to create a boundary of who they are and who they express, how they express who they are. Then you'll see some people that get fat, and that's their boundary because no one will look at them, and they'll leave them alone. And that's a boundary. Here's my boundary. Be open, but don't be stupid. It's about footwork. So I can be open. If I feel threatened, I just go away. You know, people will just stand there and feel threatened and cover up, or whatever their reaction might be to that. But footwork. And that's a gravity phenomenon. And you see, look at the great athletes out there. Tim Duncan had a long career, over 7 foot tall. Great footwork. And kind of a skinnier, not that big of a guy. Then you get Dwight Howard, huge guy, no footwork. Back problems, shoulder problems, no footwork. It's all about footwork. There's 6 degrees of freedom that we have. So if we talk about boundaries, there's 6 degrees of freedom that we have. What do I mean by that? Well, there's 6 directions that we have options to move in. There's the front space. Oh, we know all about that. And that's where usually our attention is in the computer right here in the front space. But I've also got space to the right. I've got space to the left. And if I open up to that and keep my front space, that's a little different than just front space. But then I also have a down space to gravity. Oh, okay, so now I'm down, I'm forward, I'm right, left. And then I have an up space. Oh, I can pull up. So I have a down and an up, I have a right and a left, and I have a front. Now, the one that we all miss is the back space. And do I feel the space behind me? Oh, okay, so that's my 6 degrees of freedom. You see, when people walk, it's all the front space, and they're thinking ahead of them, and they're over there, but their bodies are here. If we think about the space behind us, somebody that has our back, wind in my sails, oh, all of a sudden things are more even. When you see a good basketball player like Steph Curry, you don't know if he's going to go forward, down, up, right, left, back. Step back jumper's the big thing these days. Backspace. It's very important, but we want an evenness in all those degrees of awareness in all those spaces. Some of them are more gravity-based, like the down. Some of them are more space, like all the rest of them.